In catch wrestling, most of our submissions are what we call compound submissions. That means we're attacking more than one point of the limb. This makes it highly effective. It makes it the most technical form of submission grappling in existence, and you end up fighting off more than one hold that you would like. These submissions are designed to cripple by breaking bones and snapping tendons and ligaments. The first technique that we're going to be describing is called a double wrist lock, and it's the foundation of catch wrestling. It's known now by other names, Kimura and things like that, but it's been around long before Kimura was even born, and the American wrestlers were the best in the world at doing it. And what it does, and what people don't seem to understand, is they feel it's a shoulder lock. And once again, it's not. That's an improper way of applying the double wrist lock. The double wrist lock, in addition to being a shoulder lock, is also a forearm break. You can literally break the forearm. Anytime you apply a submission, you want the opponent in as weak of a position as possible. This way, it takes out all the strength. Many styles now use a lot of strength. It's a lot of fighting strength on strength, and therefore many submissions seem to be hard to get. In catch wrestling, we take it to the highest level possible, and we eliminate the need for all strength, and literally a smaller person can apply these devastating joint locks against a bigger, stronger opponent, and later we will be bringing out Brian, and we'll have the smallest member, Costa, demonstrate some moves on Brian as well. But in the double wrist lock, before I bring out Costa and show it on him, the point of contact is going to be the ulna bone of the forearm. And the key here is, I'm going to turn the skeleton sideways. When I frame up on this, I'm going to be attacking the bone. You'll see it in a second. Traditionally, most schools will just grab, keep the palm forward and facing, and this is how they apply the lock. The bone of the forearm is never touching my forearm, and that's poor. That's very poor mechanics. Even if they try to bring it in tight, it's not a good form at all. All the pressure is being placed on the shoulder alone. When we do it, we twist immediately to make this thing as weak as possible, and then I bring his forearm across my own forearm, and as I pull in and lever, I will snap the bone in his forearm before I even attack the shoulder. Now this may look a little bit disjointed, but I'm going to bring Costa out as soon as we stop this section. I will demonstrate on him, and then I will give you a very bold and graphic demonstration of how you can snap a bone relatively easily. Now let's get down to the meat and potatoes of the double wrist lock. Entries are aplenty, from body locks, from strikes, from grabs, so on and so forth. Frankly, I'm not even concerned with the entries because most people just don't do the hold right. Too many times, people will grab either with their thumb or without their thumb from a standing position. So if I'm facing Costa and I'm attempting to do this, he's facing me, and he's got all his strength, he's got all his energy, he's got his base. The way you grip initially is going to tell me, I can see this from a distance, whether this guy knows what he's doing and whether the hold is going to be successful or not. The key to any double wrist lock, be it on the ground or on the feet, is to never grab on top. Think of like keep your hand open, think of like a patty cake, okay? Like my palm up, his palm down. That's where you want to grip, okay? You always want to grip there because now that's going to give me the ability to twist Costa and move him out of a natural position. If I just grab him here, we're squared up. When I grab him here from underneath and I do the twist, that naturally moves his body. He wants to get, his body wants to compensate for this unnatural position that he's put in. This is a natural position for all of us, to have our hands like this or our hands like this. It is not natural for us to be walking around with our hands unturned. That puts us in a weak position to begin with. Therefore, you want to make that person fight out of that and use their energy up for that. You're using no strength at all. So I'm not grabbing here. The key is that I'm coming up underneath and grabbing. This works extremely well if somebody's grabbing your shirt or something or pushing on you. You already have it. Now the next important step is, and I'm not going to focus on striking him or anything like that when I apply the lock. I want to just focus on the mechanics of the lock. You're going to see that the pressure is going to come, I'm going to go light right now, but the pressure is coming from It's going to attack that bone that I showed you on the skeleton, and I'm going to use my bone of my forearm, and I'm going to do a subtle motion here. He's hurting already. That looks like, wow, he's exaggerating. Klaus is exaggerating. Absolutely not. This is the difference between some people who attempt to copy my moves that I've put on video, and they may look right, but it's always the opponent's reaction. If a guy's just sitting here nice and gingerly, and I apply it like this, and he just said, just say tap.
Tap.
You know that hold is not put on effectively. When I get this thing on right, he's going to be hurting. What I'm doing here now is I'm slowly pulling this hand in as I'm levering across with my right arm. It's a lever action to attack that forearm. So we came up with a graphic demonstration here, if Jeff wouldn't mind bringing this in. This piece of wood is actually slightly larger than the bones on that skeleton. But what I'm going to do is show you graphically the kind of pressure that you can put on this man's forearm and how you can break his arm. So I'm going to pin, I'm in here tight, and you snap it. Again, I'm in here tight, pinch, pull in, and that's going to be his forearm. So we're going to continue on. I'm going to show the actual applications once we clean up the mess that this Italian boy made here. Now that's a graphic demonstration of just some of the power that you can get. I didn't try to jerk into it. I didn't use any kind of body momentum or anything. It was just proper mechanics of my arms. When you start adding in momentum, movement, it's crippling, it's devastating, and this is stuff that you don't want to play around with. This is the most severe form of submission holds that I've ever seen, period, anywhere in the world. And they're designed to literally hook you, which means no time to tap. Something's going to get broken. As we say, snap, no tap. You don't want him to tap out. You want to break him. So the point of attack, again, is I am on the forearm bone. That's why you have to turn it. Makes him weak, gets him completely out of position. I bring everything in tight to me. I got to go easy here. I'm going to bring everything in tight to me before I attack the shoulder. Now, once again, I'm going to show this part. Let's turn this way. Maybe you can see I have to go easy on him. I absolutely have a lot of play here. I can bring this arm all the way in. What I would do to make this a hook on the street is I'm going to release my arm so I don't cripple him. I'm going to pull in as I arch, okay? That's the thing you got to do here. Not like some wackadoo who's going to stand here and start cranking. I want to pull in, snap that forearm before I even attack this shoulder, okay? 9 times out of 10, I don't even care about the shoulder. I break that forearm, that's a bone break. He's going to have some problems. From there, if I decide to take it to the shoulder, I'll take it to the shoulder.